This movie takes place in the near future, where no humans exist, only animals do. A black cat is seen wandering through the forest in order to get to the cabin. The cabin is surrounded by the lifelike statues of the cats, indicating that a human who loved cats lived there. The cat jumped up on the roof and got into the room where he curled up and took his afternoon nap. After his nap, the cat felt thirsty, so he went deep into the forest to drink water. While he was drinking water, he heard some noise and went into hiding. It was actually a hound of dogs trying to catch fish to eat. Then the dogs got into a fight over the fish. Meanwhile, the cat, seeing the fish flapping on the ground, decided to grab the fish and looked at the dogs. The golden Labrador didn't do anything. He appears to be friendly, but others are not. So the cat decided to run, and the dogs started to chase the cat relentlessly, so the cat threw the fish away. But they still chased on. In the end, the cat managed to lose them. While he was catching his breath, he heard a stampede sound and looked at the noise, and it was actually a herd of deers running past the cat. The cat also sees the dogs heading towards his way, but instead of chasing the cat, they ran past him. He was clueless. Then it all made sense for the cat, because a second later, the whole forest is submerged in the flood. The cat tries to stay afloat in the water. Then he found a little branch and leaped up on it. The dog tries to grab onto the branch as well, but it falls off due to powerful current of water. Then the cat sees a piece of land and jumps up onto the ground. A second later, the dog jumps up on there as well. We see the dog is separated from his friends. The dog wanted to be friends with the cat, but he seems to be in no mood. The cat on the way to his cabin sees a huge crane and gets scared. But the brave dog comes to the rescue of the cat by barking at the crane. Then they both ran out of there. The cat got into the cabin and sees outside. The water level seems to be alarmingly rising. A minute later, the dog's friends are on the boat, sailing towards the cabin. Seeing this, the golden Labrador got into the boat with his friends and barked at the cat to come with them. But the cat, wary of the other dogs, decided to not go. The water level has now risen completely, and the cabin now gets flooded with water. The cat gets up on one of the largest cat statues, but few minutes later, it gets drowned. So he leaps up on the tip of the cat statue's ear and see a boat is headed towards his way. So he jumped inside the boat and came in contact with Capybara, who looks friendly and harmless. The night falls, the capybara sleeps peacefully, but the cat couldn't. Next morning, the cat is caught off guard by the crane's reappearance, which the cat saw on his way to the cabin. The crane looks friendly. But the cat gets knocked down into the water, and he couldn't swim up. Eventually, he fell into the deep end of the water. But the big whale helped him out of the water, and he gets grabbed on by the other crane. The cat puts up a fight with his paw, and eventually the crane dropped him, and he landed safely again on the boat. Shortly after, the crane on the boat flew off from there. And so they were sailing without any hiccups until the cat sees that they were about to crash into the wall, decided to steer the boat away with the stick. Then we see the lemur's collections of shiny objects like mirrors and bottles on the basket. Since the water level kept rising, the lemur couldn't get the chance to get all of his things, so he got on the boat, and they all start sailing away into an unknown destination. After some time, they see a land and decides to take a rest. The lemur finds a ball there and keeps it. The capybara starts eating grass, and they meet the golden Labrador again, who probably got separated from his friends. The cat tries to catch a fish to eat, but he is interrupted by the crane, which appeared on the boat. The crane actually wants to offer a fish to the cat. Then, with some hesitancy, the cat, when tries to eat it, the other cranes appears and eats the fish. Then, all the cranes teamed up and surrounded the cat. The crane, which was friendly to the cat, defended the cat. The other cranes takes it as a betrayal. The boss crane breaks the friendly crane's wings and proceeded to fly without waiting. The crane, with no choice, hopped up and took control of the boat, and so the sailing continues. The dog, wanting to play, decides to place the ball at the foot of the crane, but the crane kicked the ball into the water. The lemur, seeing his most prized possession tossed into the water, wanted the crane to stop the boat, but the crane was not on board with the idea, so a fight ensues between them. During the fight, the cat gets knocked down into the water. The capybara jumped into the water to retrieve the ball. Meanwhile, the cat gets back into the boat. While the capybara was about to grab the ball, he sees the giant whale and decided to go back to the boat without the ball. A while later, the cat, feeling hungry, jumped into the water searching for fish to eat and eventually garnered a pile of fish. The Labrador, feeling hungry, barked at the cat. The cat, with some hesitancy, decided to throw a fish at the dog. The cat also willingly offered his fish to the crane. After some time, the animals hear a barking sound coming from the ancient temple and finds that it was the dogs that the golden Labrador got separated from. The crane, which thinks that the boat is already full, refused to allow those dogs on the boat, but in the end, the cat actually managed to convince the crane. And so they picked up the dogs. The crane is definitely not happy, and the dogs, instead of showing gratitude, decided to eat the pile of fish the cat has stored to eat for later, and broke the mirror which the lemur cherished. The sky is now overcast, and the waves are very choppy. It is now hard to control the boat. The crane flown off from there, and the water current is so strong that the cat gets knocked down into the water and separated from his friends. He sees the steps on the mountain and decided to go up, and there he sees the crane, but it again flown off, leaving the cat alone. At this moment, the cat knows that his friends are on the boat and became close to his heart, not the crane, who he thought was his ally. So he decided to go find his friends on the boat, but the water suddenly dries off and he finds himself on the land again. The cat is restlessly looking for his friends and finds Lemur with his clan. So with the help of Lemur, the cat helped his other friends off the boat, which is hanging by the tree. Thus, there blooms an unlikely friendship among these animals.